Let's get into it. Komodo, I met you at Art Basel exhibiting your work. Amazing stuff. Love the Scarface piece, right?
Thank you, man.
So let's introduce yourself. Our audience would love to know more about you and your art.
Oh, well, first off, thank you for having me. It's funny how God works, having no plans, not even a hotel book the first night I got there, 22-hour drive from New York. And little do you know, from meeting people, had my first event in Miami at Art Basel with my boy Sway, Armani, and met you throughout the hold. And now we're, on both of our first remote podcasts per se. So again, thank you for having me. And yeah, man, I the Scarface piece is actually funny. The real Tarzan, Mike Holston, they actually reached out their team and said that he really liked it. So I said I don't really care when I come back. If it's next week in a month, let me know. So hopefully I'll be meeting Mike and as one of an idol of mine growing up, being Steve Irwin first, Mike's kind of taken that legacy and turn it into real life education and living his dream by being with animals. And, again, that's my guy. So hopefully that gets to him soon.
So, I mean, can you tell us more about your journey as an artist and how you got to this level of where you're at now?
Yeah, so always been a creative guy. Shout out to my cousin Kyle Anderson for kind of teaching me how to draw and getting my creativity, started as a young child. Um, throughout my whole life, I always kind of was focused on money. I went to Stony Brook. I was a linebacker, played D1 ball, and through that, I wanted a scholarship. Give back to my parents. After I graduated as a marketing major, I said, let's go into finance again, thinking about money and my future, and went into finance for a few years. And just recently, actually, after I passed my Series 7 and 65 in April, in January, about a year ago from now, I got art to Mike Tyson, 50 Cent, and was at an event
Mm,
on in the Giants within like 2 weeks. And
dang.
but it kind of sunk in and had a couple of visions of me living my dream, following my heart, and being an artist compared to following the footsteps I have been, and money and just a 9 to 5 job that I was currently in. And I said, you know what? You only live once, baby. Let's take this ride. Komodo Art's going to the top. I'm going to do everything I can to learn, to push myself, meet people, build relationships, and try to become one of these next big artists, like I say I'm gonna become. So 1 year in, already met so many cool people. And
Mm.
that is, I think you asked me that what's my inspiration? It's people. Let me know what you love, your hobby, your passions, your families, stuff related in the business, and let me make that 3D immersive one of one art. And both of us
Mm.
artists in a sense collabing with your vision, passions, and my, artistic talent to make it come to life. So it's a fun ride, baby. 1 year in.
Sick, sick. So your 1 year anniversary, how did you celebrate the 1 year anniversary?
Hasn't been 1 year yet.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it was like January 30th that I fully
Uh,
walked out of the bank with the cardboard box and the
mm.
stuff in. And my team said no hard feelings. This is just kind of clean your office out. So I'm smiling with a huge smile on my face, walking on Wall Street
As you should,
with a
like
box,
because
all my stuff in it. People think I just got fired, whatever. I look like I'm just leaving. And in my head, I said, this is the start to the new chapter in Komodo's book. And
yeah, yeah.
from that day, and paint the picture like Bob Ross. So, you know, uh, each day, artist, I feel like this is truly who I am. And what I was born to do is create, whether it's physical pieces, whether it's um, putting people together through my art and making a bigger thing out of it than just the painting itself, and more importantly as well, to not only grow for myself, but as I grow to give back and help people in the world that need it in certain other areas. That's when I can. So Yeah, man, Komodo art, baby.
Nice. So can you go into a little bit about that? I mean, obviously that's your alias, Komodo, right? So it's a cool name, very intriguing, right? It jumps at you right off the bat, right? So what I'm curious about is basically, oh, so obviously, well, anyone who's listening and not watching, they maybe you can explain what that's all about, your reasoning behind the name, and the identity associated with it, right? How does it tie into your artistic identity? You want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
all that?
about the Komodo. First off, I'll say for the audience, I just showed him one of my tattoos, my lip tattoo I have that says Komodo. I got before I was even creating these paintings, murals, essentially. Komodo has been my nickname since I was like 15. My boys, Joe Forler, Joe Pesci, Jeff Milan, Jared Wolfson, a lot of these group of guys, we used to go out a lot, go to hotels, go to raves. I think we were at Tommy Trash this night. And
Mm,
the on out there, it stuck. We were laughing. It was random. And I've just always, people have been calling me Komodo for years now. And, at Wall Street, I was Dylan Hipner, baby. I was on the business card. There was no Komodo. And, going into the art world, I said, you know what? I'm bringing that Komodo life back, but more so, I'm going to embrace that shit and turn into Komodo. So, um, it's been a name that's just been with me for over 10 years now. So
right.
not a new name. It's just in the art game, that's who I am. My brand and business I want to grow. And then on top of the Komodo Dragon, why I really like that name and don't want to change it, it's because two things. One, Komodo Dragon, it embraces and resembles strength. And for me, this ain't easy quitting my day to 9 to 5, everything I was working for and give it all up to do this art stuff. So,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
brave. I mean, no safety net. That's super,
exactly.
super.
He's 7 years old. So I said, it comes with strength and you strengthen your heart, knowing that I got this. I don't need to listen to any doubters of anything. Again, as corny as it sounds, I love the people that doubt me because it just makes me want it more and show to everyone I'm gonna be this guy. Just hold back and relax. Um, but yeah, and then the second thing with the Komodo is the spiritual resemblance. So for me, my nanny passed, about 7, 8 years ago, and
I'm sorry to
uh,
hear
thank you, man. I appreciate that, Don. And she was like my second mom. She was like the
that. Oh,
closest. We were so close, and I feel like she really is guiding me in life, like a guardian angel. And right before I quit JP Morgan, I kind of had, like I said, a spiritual vision of my future, and I think it was so strange. It wasn't a coincidence. It was God, my nanny, kind of showing me your new life, and I really do have that connection with my nanny. So both the strength aspect and the spiritual aspect of it really fits who I am too. So just because I had that name for 10 plus years, it's more than just a name and the time. It's
yeah.
me.
What do you remember most about your nanny?
So what I most remember most about my nanny was the one thing that I want to pass down for generations and teach my kids and nieces and nephews and grandkids is tradition. Keeping the family close and having traditions and not letting time go by where you're not making any time. Everybody's busy, got something, but for example, Christmas Eve for my family, when we were younger kids, there was presents stacked to the ceiling. My nanny, 13, grandchildren, made a whole spectacle of it. The whole house was like, the North Pole.
Yeah,
It was such a sick vibe, and we looked forward to it every year. As
yeah,
little kids, just,
I love that. Mm,
present. As we got older, we started really spending more time together, more Christmas is about and the holidays and St. Patty's Day and memories and loving each other, the ones you love. And, since she passed, we still have Christmas Eve every year. And I
mm.
think realistically, it turned into more of a party where all the cousins, all the family, we have a good time. But
It's an excuse to get sloshed, is what it is.
why not? Merry Christmas, here's your life.
Same. Your tradition is the same as my tradition. Okay, I'm going back, and I'm going back to Cali, and yeah, no, it's on like Donkey Kong. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And the cool thing is, right, that wasn't always like that. At least for the kids.
Yeah.
Parents realized what they were doing. We were just, running around, hanging out with each other. But as we got older, it's more of like we look forward to not the Secret Santa getting little gifts. It's more, the time spent together that night and making everyone laugh and being there for the holidays with the ones you love. But
No, I love that. I love
tradition
that.
is the
How,
one.
how, how old are you? If you don't mind me
Uh,
asking.
7, and I'm gonna be 20.
How,
I'm
sorry, how
20.
old? 27?
Yeah,
Nice, nice. How old do you think I am?
I would say 32.
I'll take that. I'll take that. We'll keep it like that. No, but the reason why I bring it up
Oh
is
yeah, just
because
real
the
quick.
reason why I bring it up is because your personality, as far as what kind of traditions you value, it's similar to my generation. So I'm an 80s baby, right? So I grew up with, you know, we didn't have this,
Yep,
right?
yep.
We had to sit at the table and look at each other, talk to each other, like fake conversation, fake liking that person next to us, right? But the thing is that in and of itself, it builds character, right? It builds character. It builds memories, right? So it's things like that that I feel this recent generation they're missing, right? Because the thing is they're they're basically born into this era of technology
Mhm.
and swiping the phone at age 1, right, or less,
Yeah,
right?
just right
So it's crazy. It's like
with
there's this
an iPad.
disconnect. There's this disconnect. So oftentimes, I'll come back, right, and I'll see, a group of kids. They're just like kids. I'm talking about kids. When I say kids, I'm talking about like my nephews and nieces, right? And
Mhm.
they're at a dinner table or in the living room, and every one of them has an iPad or an iPhone, and they're just glued to it. It's really disheartening. No, what do you think about that? And
Well, it's unfortunate that it's so convenient too. A
yeah,
lot of people in the trap where you're at a dinner and right now your little kid's crying, and one thing to shut them up is going to put an iPad or have them watch their show, and it's going to stop crying. But at the end of the day, not to fall in that, so, a lot of parents, um, want to discipline even at a young age and say, no. So sometimes it's hard to, depending on the moment, to say, all right, I'm going to give in at one time. But I tell a lot of people it's how I look at the technology, especially the phone that you just pulled out, it's a computer, it's a camera, it's an iPod, it's everything you could think, and it could be a tool or a weapon. So even at a young age, I think it's important to understand and learn it, but to always try to look at it like that tool aspect where how could I use this to help me in my life be productive rather than getting sucked into the trap of scrolling through reels for 3 hours, or just playing games on your phone rather than listening to podcasts, working on self-motivation, working on, your skill set, your profession, whatever you're going to do. Just like you said, 80s baby, how crazy is it that right now you can pull your phone out, go on Google, and really learn anything and some things are, uh, more simple than they sound, and they're worded a little more uh, beginner level when it could be a lot more complicated. But still, you could learn it on a scale of reading it and saying, "All right, at least I know how that's done." Um, and for someone that I'll be straight up honest, like myself, loves growth. I love working on myself, working on my team, working on people around me, and saying,
agreed.
you know, that's awesome that I could do this. It's awesome that we did this, but what's next? And
Mm,
build that, right? So I just look at it like, I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to have this tool in my pocket and I want to help people and educate and say, do your own thing. Like just do
Mm.
something. Like nowadays on YouTube, you could get other videos, let's say of like animals, and have them scrapping or just chilling in the wild. You could even get an AI voice where they're talking about it and you're not even talking. And
Yeah,
now you're
faceless.
the one platform that's made for videos like that.
Mm.
You're of it, you're just using your brain, and
Mm.
even if you don't know it now, it's something people could learn by
Hmm.
if they want to.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but it's scary, and I feel like it just if it's used the right way, it's something that I'm grateful for.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. It's it's a blessing and a curse, you
Yeah,
know.
like,
So, but I'm curious. I mean, how have you been using the technology, right, in general to enhance your art, or have you just been using more traditional methods? How's that been
so
going?
more traditional method is trying to really more learn, certain things. For example, like painting. I was never a painter. Um,
Mm.
I'm more into multimedia, which is like 3D art coming out. I like
Hmm.
sculpture, like stuff where you could feel the piece, you could walk around it, you could touch it, and it brings more life to it, in my opinion. But at the same time, I want to be someone that's always a yes guy. If there's an idea you have, even if it's more of a painting, I could do it. And what I've been doing a lot recently too is the power of, again, teamwork. I've been working
Hmm.
with a lot of other artists to get the final piece out there the best it could be. So if recently, I'll tell you one right now, me and my boy Rios made a piece. We're shipping out to Minnesota. The guy wanted a rhino head, 3D coming off the canvas with a Michael Corleone Godfather body sitting on his chair painted. So the piece is 5 by 4. I sculpted the head that's like this big. Um, and my boy Rios, painted the suit around it and everything. We kind of teamed up on making this come to life. And in my opinion, I'd rather do that. I'd rather work with other artists, and I understand the power of more creative minds rather than just saying, all
Hmm.
right, I'm the guy, because I'm not. There's a lot of talented ass artists that are growing like me that maybe just quit their jobs, and maybe my pieces will be better if we both put our minds together. So I don't like to look at shit like, how can I get to the top? It's how can we get to the top if you're riding with me?
So, what would you say influences your creative process?
The pieces that I just make in my head are more my style. I think the biggest influence I have for my style, right, is animals. Just like I said, the real Tarzan, when I get that piece to him, I'm gonna be so pumped up. I've been following him for so long, and you know, my idol growing up was his idol, and he became this reincarnation version of Steve in a sense of doing what he's doing for the world. And just like Steve, he's educating so many people and showing people that, stuff that people might have never seen without the power of the phone in your hand and seeing what he's doing through social media. So animals, besides the art, is my family, right? Obviously, number one. Animal is something I've loved since I was a kid, whether it's a beautiful butterfly, graceful, or a crazy killing lion. I have love for both. And if you look at all my pieces at Komodo art, a lot of them have some type of animal incorporated in them, even if it's for someone else, because I'll like throw a little, piece in there just for me thinking it's better because I think just anything with animals is better. I'll be real. Um, and then for the pieces I get in the commissioned aspect, my inspiration is the people. I get like a thrill when I talk to someone and see how happy they are about something in their heart. So when I talk to a snowboarder and he's always like, "Bro, I just want to get shred out like 5 times a year. I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to snowboard on the piece." I'm like, wow, it's really not so much about the art. Like, this is snowboarding. I want to make sure it's a crazy snowboard piece where, he loves it. If it's fishing, give me your fishing pole. I'll throw a fishing pole on it. make 3D water coming up and have a 3D fish jumping out of the water, and it's your fishing pole where you could touch it and touch the reel. Now you go up to that and you're like, this reel was sitting, I was using a different one under the bed, but this is bringing back memories. It's a talking point for people coming in. And it basically brought my old reel I had under the bed to life again through value as well from this hungry ass artist that's climbing this hill. So I don't really just want to look at it like people are my collectors. I want to look at it like people are my investors. Um, like I always say, I'll say it over and over. It's Komodo's garden, just like it's Stan's garden, where people love flowers, but you need dirt for a garden to grow. And you look at my last comments in some videos, people I'd never even heard of seeing or saying, you suck, like this disgusting, this is third grader stuff. And I love it, bro, because it's the first time where I'm like drawing this emotion and it's not all sunshine and rainbows family. Now it's random people that just want to comment, and I know the way these guys operate, and I love them because I want more of them. I want all of the haters to be fucking on my page.
Controversy sells, right?
Yeah, like art's such a crazy industry where I've had pieces I've created, people be like, I've hear just through the because nobody really say shit right to my face. Let's be real. But
Because you're tall, man. You're huge.
but
Of course, they're gonna hide behind a
I wouldn't be
speaker, a
I
keyboard.
would
Those window warriors.
no, I would just say thank you for your opinion. But it's funny because I've had pieces, like I said, that I've people have been like, yo, I've heard through the grapevines, Dylan's work's not good. Like I don't like that. Like he's not. And then I had people buy him for 5,000. And
Nice.
for me, it's like, who do I really care about? The people that are saying my work's not good, or my new boy that I'm going to his crib to deliver this $5,000 investment piece of art. And I wave down at my little hair and say, watch my next video. So they do say 80% of your business comes from 20% of your people, right? And, so like I'm not trying to get my art out there for every person. It's not supposed to be like that. The people who are gravitating towards me and reaching out, and referrals. Oh, this is my friend. My friend wants a piece. Some having 8 of my pieces now just in their house, like their own gallery. That shit fires me up. And like
Yeah.
I loved my old job at JP, but it was
Mhm.
like, you know, every sale really mattered for me to get as much sales to work on this pipeline as we called it, and to really make as much money as I can, and at the same time help as many people as I can too by being, in a junior advisor role. But now it's not really like that. As an artist, I kind of changed where that aspect of wanting another deal, I really don't want that. I want people to want my art and have that's a better feeling, in my opinion. Um, and those are the relationships I want. The people that believe in me, support in me, um, and see my vision that I'm going to take over, like Conor McGregor, baby.
Nice.
I can't agree with this quote so much. Not here to take part. I'm here to take over.
I know
I'm
that quote.
here to
But
take.
but 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 my favorite quote is who the fook is that guy?
Bro,
That's the best. That's
here's
bad.
for the listeners. That's a good topic, like a interesting topic point. So you think about mixed martial arts, right?
Mhm.
Artists, just like musicians, just like
Mhm.
dance. There's a lot of different type of art out there besides what my little category is of the physical painting, murals, sculptures, etc. And he might not be, as the biggest McGregor fan, the best mixed martial artist, in these last years who we've seen. There's some guys like Khabib,
Of course.
John Jones that are just really, you can't really match with
Yeah.
their stats.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, as an artist,
Mhm.
he's the number one guy that marketed his name and who he is, and
Yeah.
now the one guy on
Yeah.
Lamborghini yachts, having kid after kid after year, just building a McGregor army. doing what
Yep.
he's taking for the whiskey nation,
Yep.
with Proper 12. And, people might look at me and say his work sucks. And you know what? Cool. Maybe I really don't love it either, that work. But me as the artist, what I'm gonna do is build this art as the trunk and then have multiple different branches popping out everywhere and using my
Mhm.
creative side, my inner art life to branch off in different aspects. And I think education is a huge one because I want to show kids too that art's not only about holding a paintbrush and a pencil. Your creative mind is really what drives art, and that could turn into you being creative and practicing sports. And then now being a mixed martial artist, being creative could make you pick up a guitar, start strumming away, and now
Very
you're
much so.
so just be creative because a
Mm.
lot of times you get stuck in this life that's very short and think it's just like I did stepping stones and a path rather than tomorrow's full of like whatever you want it to be and life is short, so use those
Tomorrow,
really.
tomorrow's never promised, right?
No, for anyone any
Yeah,
age, right?
exactly.
So that's kind of what one of my best friends, Jawad Khalfan, told me a crazy thing when we were hanging outside one day. He said, "Who do you want to see Dylan Hipner when you type your name on Google? You want to see Dylan Hipner, JP Morgan, high representative in the company in a suit, shaking hands, making great money, or do you want to see this guy Dylan Hipner, the artist Komodo, with paint all over his face, jumping in the air with different influencers, making a difference together with people like-minded like myself, and smiling and not being as professional, but more, and right then and there, I kind of was like, I want to be that guy. You know,
Mm.
it's not about money. That was your question. I don't want to. If I had a choice right now, and this is my life, I want to be that guy. And then I said, is life about money or wanted to be that guy I want to be? So I said, I love you guys. I love JP. I love downtown Wall Street, but I'm going to Michael's and I'm picking up supplies and I'm calling people to get
No,
out there. And that's what I've been doing this past 11 months. So, only the beginning, only the start. I'm so happy to meet you in Miami because,
vice
like,
versa.
not only
It's a random blessing. It's amazing. I love it.
and not only art Basel, right? It was my first time in Miami. So
Mm.
memorable time. And, like I said, a lot of, little clubs and restaurants and people reach out to me, that want to work. So I'm probably going to be coming to Miami like every other month I'm planning to. So
Mm.
I'm not kidding around. I love Miami. I love the people there. I feel like I didn't want to leave. I'll be real with you. And, I had to get back with the schedule, but
Mm.
not driving down 22 hours. I could hop on a flight real quick for a weekend, bring one piece, you know, large carry on, and we out.
You should start a couch surfing account and just sleep on a bunch of people's couches in Miami and make it happen. Because no, like, and I joke about it right now, but there is a huge community of couch surfers, right? And it works. I mean, I remember when I was hitting up people in Hawaii because I was about to go to Hawaii, and my friend, well, I was supposed to shoot his wedding, but then um, circumstances happened and whatnot. And then I remember just reaching out to some people in the couch surfing, and then we're just like, yeah, stay over for like 3 to 4 days on my couch and hang out, right? And so, that could be something for you. So,
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. It's actually funny. I'm not the biggest guy with like staying with someone I just don't know. Like meeting people is different, right? But
yeah.
my manager, Nick, introduced me to this kid, Brandon, who I didn't know before Miami, put us
Mm,
back to get a room together. And we left Miami being, in my opinion, bros for life.
nice.
And
Nice.
both of us were kind of on the age, like we don't know each other. We're getting this small hotel room,
Yeah,
obviously beds, but it's not like personable where usually I would go with like someone I really know. I'd never done it before, but being
yeah.
open-minded sometimes in life like that and just letting God work, like, and not plan. My dad taught me a huge thing that I always go by is life is not about plan A's. You always have a plan, and most times it doesn't go that way. So it's like, how do
Exactly.
you ease? You're gonna be a bitch, moan, and say, "Oh, what the heck," and let it ruin your day, your relationship, your image, or you're gonna say,
Yeah.
"Damn, I spilled coffee on my whole entire suit before this meeting. Where's the nearest men's warehouse so I can freshen up? I don't got time to go back to my crib. Let me
Or
go
or or
get
or you can just go with the flow and just say, no, this is the style. All this coffee, it's like it's the new art
this is art.
design. It's you.
It was flattering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You intentionally stained it to make it look
What do you
to
I
make it look
valid.
poetic. You know?
This is
Yeah, this is art, baby.
more important
So this is how we do it in New York. Is what we-
than New York, baby.
So
All right.
let's talk about that for a second. And FYI, we have about 6 minutes left.
Okay.
Um, what's you want to talk about New York? Like how that shaped your art, like a little bit about your upbringing and all that?
Yeah, so I mean, just in general, like, just my life, like the chapters in my life, like everything kind of made me who I am. So, where we got a lot of open land here in Suffolk County. So I've always been on the water. My dad always had a boat, always been fishing. Um, and kind of like just growing up to that scenery, I started falling in love with animals, right? So there was a lot of places over here, like Long Island Reptile place that was here, it closed down, but it was a spot that all my cousins would get together. There'd be all like the crocodiles, alligators, and I would feel like young Steve Irwin, right? I loved it. And through sports, I had all my cousins around me. We all very close, 12 of us. So I would always grow up being very competitive with them, a little older than me, playing sports. So that's why I think the person I am today, I was playing sports. I'm an athlete my whole life. I was played at East Meadow football and then went on to Stony Brook University there. Um, and then with the animals, again, I think just being from close to my cousins in New York, having similar interests, it's something that'll never leave me. Like I have that soft spot for the wildlife. But I really never left New York. I never been to Disneyland still. It was the first time in Miami, like I said. I was kind of on a mission though, so I didn't
Oh,
plan that.
you mean Disney World? Because Disney World is in Florida.
Disney World.
Disneyland is I live like 20 minutes away from in SoCal.
So,
So
yeah,
yeah.
no.
And I could care less
Yeah.
about going to Disneyland.
But you like Disney World?
Sorry, what?
You like Disney World though in Miami
I,
and Florida?
I could care less about Disney. Like as far as
Yeah.
you know what it is? It's just if I had a girlfriend and yeah, she's obsessed with Disney, maybe we would go on
But it's
dates
not
there.
like, yeah, the reason why I said that more so is because like just did everyone goes there, right? But you're going to Florida. So for me, um, never, it's first time experiencing really Florida when I went to Art Basel. And
Mm,
college, I went to college in New York. It was like about an hour from my house.
yeah.
So, my family went to a couple of places. We went to Mexico, a couple of cruises, the Caribbean, but
Mhm.
New York has just been, Long Island, like my spot living, and then
Mhm.
my career after college working. It's Manhattan. So both Nassau County, Suffolk County, and the city all like has that dear spot in my heart where you're in Nassau County, you're an hour and a half from the Hamptons, Montauk, the beach, the open land, the woods, and then you go an hour the other way, and you're in, one of the biggest cities in the world. And I love Manhattan too. And I'm never gonna leave. I'll have places all over, but I'm always gonna be New York. Like always have this spot here to get back to my New Yorkers and hopefully eventually just be permanent here and get my own crib. Um, because I got
Yep.
some, what do you say?
Oh no, you're saying?
I was gonna say because I have some real estate in Charlotte, in North Carolina over there, but I'm still like got the best parents in the world, best family, so
Nice.
I'm still like, here just rocking out, but the plan is to be close to my family, get a spot here in Long Island, and then keep expanding, and then hopefully one in Miami, baby.
Yes. What was your first sale like for your art, and what was the art piece? You wanna get into that?
Yeah, so the first piece I technically got out there was to Mike Tyson. It was on I was
Nice.
JP Morgan, and it was like an event he had for his new business he was doing, and I popped that on him, gave him a piece, and it was really cool to have him as like the first person owning my art as Komodo the artist, and then the first person who bought my art, Joe Gaglio, just kind of heard my story. He liked the art a lot, but in my opinion, he's one of those guys that really connected with me. He's my boy till this day. We talk every day, and um, I actually work with his business, Shepherd Wealth Group, that all the guys there are dear to my heart, and a tax mitigation company. So, again, like I told you before, it's not about the art as much it is to me as a relationship because that stuff doesn't go away. I'm always going to make new pieces, but the relationships stay. So, that was an awesome feeling to have someone pay me the price I knew my art was valued at. Um, and then it started to grow from there.
Wait, so what was the story behind Mike Tyson as far as how did you get in touch with him, and how did he feel about the art?
So Mike Tyson was kind of a meet and greet situation where I
Mm,
looked spontaneously on Google and on Tuesday, and he was going to be there on Friday. So I had
mm,
to make the piece, and I left work a little bit early, got
damn.
on, waited, and we denied everything that people tried to give him that day, like materialistic
Mm,
whatnot. He actually kept my art. It's at one of his
mm.
places. Um,
Wow.
so awesome, man.
Mm,
So different than you would think Mike Tyson is meeting him. Like he is a
I
person,
know.
this legend of him being the baddest guy,
Mhm.
knocking out, but he was just so down to earth. He appreciated it. To hear the words beautiful come out of his mouth was cool, but um, it's kind of my vision to have a lot of these people that other people look up to and think they're like such a high status, and in reality they're just people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get my art in that category of and meeting people, getting on video, shaking hands, hugging, squaring up with the Big Show, hugging Mel B from the Spice Girls, like diving in Shark Tanks, giving art to the aquariums, doing stuff that's combined with the art, like just the life aspect of enjoying life. um and then it got to that point where, the commission pieces started to come in, the events started to come in, and then I started to really, not be making money where I'm planning to do so in my category of art as an asset. But every day is a grind. And um, it got to the point where now I am selling pieces for 4 or 5 figures. It's only going up. Um, but it was cool story, kind of how I first was giving a couple pieces away, and now I'm able to sustain my life at least, and back to where kind of I was making money similar I did at JP Morgan.
Man, you should have been there with me. Like it was a couple of days. I'd like to say a week after Art Basel. But randomly, I was at an event for is it a Dustin Poirier meet and greet
I
in
saw that.
in Fort Lauderdale.
I saw that.
So yeah, that was fun, man. He's cool, man.
You had to pay for that, right?
Sorry,
You had to pay like $50 or something like that for it, or 100.
how did you know?
Well, I feel like it's very rare those things are completely like free, even if they're inexpensive. But for me, like, not only a meet and greet, right? It was kind of like if I'm doing that, I might as well build the
Mm,
connection from a piece of art.
yeah.
And besides the $50, the $60, $40, whatever the price is to meet them, I'm also giving them the time value on the art and the material.
Hmm. Hmm.
Each one for me, it really made sense right when I left to
Hmm.
show people who Komodo the artist is.
Yeah.
Do it from time to time, but now I'm actually, like I said, the money changed for me where people
Hmm.
are now, and my type of giving back is more to like kids, people in need. You know, my charity, my boys on that. I rock with him. I'm on his team, and anything I do, I'm trying to give back.
You know what? That sparks an idea for me that you can like ride with the idea or not, right? But you know how the Make-A-Wish Foundation, obviously, you know the Make-A-Wish, like everyone knows the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah,
I saw a story recently on John Cena, right? And so John Cena, the wrestler, the WWE wrestler, he makes it a point to always fulfill every make a wish that comes through for him, right? So could be like he could be wrestling, he could be doing a movie, doesn't matter to him. He's gonna fly out to that kid and make that wish
yeah,
happen, right?
yeah.
So that might be cool if like you hooked up with Make a Wish Foundation and did a John Cena piece, for one of the kids. That
Well,
would
it's
be sick.
my really good friend now, my manager, my friend Nick, he's been realistically doing charity work since he was 12 years
Mm.
old. He has such a big heart, and
Mm.
he has, a lot of experience and time spent with a lot of organizations,
Mm.
doing things like this. And he actually started, his own foundation, the Nick Singh Foundation, and wants to really make a difference and give back. So I'm actually on the board of the foundation. I'm the artist, on the team, and
Nice.
um, there's already a lot of plans. Kind of him as both my manager, than me being kind of part of the foundation to give
Mhm.
back my part through the art. There's a lot of talks of things like that. So, like I said, 11 months in, it's like there's so much things kind of I'm planning to do, and it's cool to see like day by day, week by week, month by month, these visions come to life. And I'm gonna give you a call once I'm doing something like that, one of these next couple of weeks or months, whatever. Um,
Awesome. Our next podcast.
yeah, exactly.
It'll be at a more swanky location, less people going in and out. Okay. Better audio too. We'll have our own studio, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
So let's get into this one last question I wanted to ask you, right?
Yes.
So looking back 50 years from now, how do you want your art to be remembered? Komodo's art.
I want Komodo's art to be remembered in the sense that Komodo art, not the artist Komodo. The artist Komodo helped, but realistically, Komodo art is a brand and a vibe that brings people together. And like I said, I'm all about people. So, even God forbid, knock on wood, something happens to me. Whatever pieces I have or the inventory I have, like have shows for me. Still have art galleries where my art is still out there living through me. And the inspiration is really people. So rather than just being hung up, like, if one of my pieces is going for auction, becomes like a crazy Great Gatsby party. People are going nuts and, talking about the guy that I was. And, you know, I already have so much people in life that I'm close with that know the real me. So I know the party will be nuts. Um, you know, like right now without even the connections I'm going to make. But I'm going to show you in maybe the next podcast, we'll talk about it. Next month, I'm having something called the Komodo Show. I'm essentially hosting it. It's going to be a crazy networking party, circus, Great Gatsby style banger that
Yeah.
go scale party by party. It's not
Nice.
a typical networking event. I'm going to have entertainers come in, DJ, people with disco ball heads running in, fire dancers. I'm going to
Dang.
some Lambos, Ferraris be pulling up, valet. Like this shit's gonna be like a event where people want to just be a part of. Eventually,
Nice.
musical art there. I got a magic show gonna be there. Um, it's happening next month. So coming to Miami really inspired me. It's gonna be
Yeah.
late January, the Komodo show, and
Mhm.
planning to hopefully get about 100 people on my first show this month. So if I could do that, I'll be happy. Um, and either way, it's still going to be a sick time. So you'll be someone seeing some of those videos or pull up to New York. You got the invite.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the open invite, my brother.
It's
So
right here. Here you go.
thank you so much. No, I appreciate your time, Komodo. No, it's been amazing talking to you, getting to know you and your art, and I wish you the best of luck in well, the best of luck in skill. I mean, you got major skills in
Thank
all your endeavors. So
you.
yeah, until next time, I can't look forward. I can't wait to see your growth within this year and the next. Moving into the new year. Let's see it pop off for you even more so, right?
Appreciate it, man. And like I said from the start, thank you for having me. And more importantly, thank you for the connection.
No,
Everybody,
thank you.
I, I love people. Talk to me. I'm always going to be, someone that's going to support, help, give advice. I don't see really room to hate and be negative on,
Exactly.
and looking at broader spectrum, spectacle of in the sense where, there's so much awesome beauty and you know,
Mhm,
things to look at positive in life.
mhm.
Why focus on the negative when there's that? So
Exactly.
thank
Exactly.
you, and everyone else hearing. Like if you see me out, whatever, come up right to me, introduce yourself, and you'll see that I'm as authentic as I say I am. I ain't fake. Ain't no fake snake here, baby.
Exactly. No, I didn't feel any fake energy from you. No, I loved every second just chatting, connecting
Me
with
too.
you, and getting that juice back and forth. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Good call, man. I'm excited to see the progress, the end result of what you come up with it.
vice versa. Thank you so much for joining us for making the switch. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you again, and I'll
All
see
right.
you in Miami, baby. Let's
Okay.
go.
Cheers. Talk soon.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
again.